Guys, welcome to our weekly podcast. Today we are going to discuss about can the Unification Church unite among different fractions. So Peter, what do you think about the future? Can the Unification Church unite with the breaking away of different fractions?
It can, and it should. I think it's very important to understand how it fractured in the first place. And it's also important to understand when True Father came, his mission, what he wanted to accomplish on the earth, and did he accomplish that? These things we have to really think seriously about and to understand our current situation.
Yeah, thinking of this fraction, because we are known as when Father established the unification. We are known as the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity. We want to unite Christianity because Christianity had been fractured into different denominations. So Father's mission at that time was to unite Christianity, and that is why we were called the Unification Church.
Yeah, but the unity that True Father sought was a unity centered on the central person of the age, which was himself.
Yeah.
True Father is the second coming of Christ. And so he reached out to many Christians and even joined, as far as I understand, many Christian churches in an effort to try to connect with them. But unless they followed a True Father, it didn't mount to anything at all. In fact, it's because the Christians didn't unite with True Father, that's why we had to go to North Korea in the end.
Yeah.
Because Christianity failed to unite with him.
Yeah, since the ascension, then now we have many factions. One, the kind of famous fraction that we have is the Family Federation, and also the Kwak group, and other different groups as well that have a claim to have the correct teachings. So, which one is it?
Well, this is a very good question, really, because True Father, he always said in his throughout his life that there always be a person on earth representing him after he passes away, and he said that many times. He didn't always say who that person was. There would be a heir and successor. And then from 2009, he said it would be Hyun Jin, Father's youngest son. And ever since that time, he always related to him as his heir and successor. And in 2010, he declared it to be his heir and successor. And he says if any other person took that position, that person would be a heretic, and that person would destroy the movement. So it's very clearly Hyun Jin would be the heir and successor. Now, there are other claims that people have, like the, as you mentioned, the Kwak group or Preston Moon group. But this is nonsensical, to be honest. It's nonsensical because Father never declared him as such. They make some really odd claims. They said when Father made that declaration in 2010, I heard them say, well, Hak Ja Han, the true mother at the time, coerced Father to write down Hyun Jin instead of Hyun Jin, instead of Preston Moon. But if you look at the video, that's totally nonsensical. She didn't coerce True Father. True Father knew what he was doing. And he knew it since 2009 that there's only one person who could be the heir and successor. It's never going to be Hyun Jin or Preston Moon. Father may have considered it earlier on, but since 2009, he had no intention of making Preston Moon the heir. It was always going to be Hyun Jin.
Yeah, I mean it is very sad that that we had to break up into different groups, and this is what in the reality. I think many religions had the same problem. I mean, if you look at Buddhism, also had a problem of different schisms, and Christianity after Jesus' ascension, after Jesus being crucified and his resurrection, we also see that many schisms. There were many heretics around who went preaching a different gospel.
Yeah.
And today we have the same thing out of Father's ascension. We say we see the same thing happening.
Well, yes, we do actually. Well, let's look at it chronologically. First of all, the Preston Moon group split. Preston Moon took a lot of property, of assets to the church, stole it, and left. So that's the first split. That's the first blow to True Father's movement. But then later, after True Father ascended, then Hak Ja Han came out with a new Chuncheongyang book and a new teaching, the Only Begotten Daughter theology, and she made wild claims. Bizarre claims started appearing, saying that Father was born with original sin, that she was born without original sin, meant she's the real Messiah, the real agent of salvation, not True Father. And these claims are continuing to this day. It says it's another split. So it's become a splinter group.
So it's become a heretic and a destroyer. That's what Father wrote down in his declaration: a heretic and a destroyer.
Exactly, and the movement is totally destroyed when you can compare it to what the movement was like before Father ascended. Many members think, "Oh, this is not that serious. We shouldn't be concerned about it. Yeah, it's all the true family. It's just a family matter. The Hyun Jin and Preston, they all come back to mother, and they'll be happy again." They really make light of it, but it's much more serious than that. It's much more serious than that. By changing Father's words, by denying him, saying he's born with the original sin, it's important to know you're denying the Messiah, you're denying the second coming of Christ, you're denying True Father's Messiahship, and you're denying his words, you're denying the divine principle. And you're replacing him with Hak Ja Han, saying that she is born without original sin, that she's the real Messiah. But this is false, and it's a lie.
Like we mentioned before, it is a new religion. It's not the continuation of Christianity, the culmination of Christianity, the beginning of the kingdom of heaven, or we say the Changyogo nation on earth. So, but this is clearly totally out of God's realm.
It is. It is a new religion, and I mean, when she made her first blessing, like in 2013, she put her own name on the blessing rings. Her own name, Han, as if that is the pure lineage. She excluded Father already from that. But by doing that, what's in the holy wine? Is that a real blessing? It's a fake blessing. And more recently, she's having members to when they pray, to pray in the holy name of Mother Han. What happened to True Father? See, all the stories they say, well, Father, Mother, one, is false. She could not do these things without Father's foundation. If she was to make her own religion, she'd need to start from scratch. She probably wouldn't be able to do it. And I don't think, to be honest, that she had the words or the content, intellectual content to do it. So she uses Father's words, uses the Chuncheongyang book, but it just changed the things she doesn't like, and then put her name at the front as the real Messiah. That's his theft.
That's an issue because Father warned against, because Father saw that Christianity also was so divided. and so many denominations. Like he wanted to clearly create one denomination. So that's why he clearly said, "Don't change my word, don't change the divine principle, or don't change anything. Keep it as it is." So that say, keep it as the original copy. So that there will be no denomination, no things will ever form in the Unification Church. Even he wanted us to study Korean for that purpose. That there will be no clear, there will be a clear understanding of the divine principle and also the Igor textbooks. That is why he emphasized that we should also study Korean.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
whether we learn Korean or not, still the point is we should not touch or change his words, not even change a comma, as you said. And by the way, we'll put these quotes in the description
Yeah.
if they're important to read. But no one has the right to change the text of any person's book, whether he's a Messiah or an ordinary person. You can't change the text of any person's book. You try it, you'll be sued, quite rightly so. A person's book is their intellectual property. It should be respected. The Christians always respected the Bible.
Yeah.
They never changed the text of the Bible ever since it was canonized in the 4th century. And they respected that. That's why even though we have different denominations, that's fine, but they all respect the Bible, and that's why they still believe in Jesus Christ. But the Family Federation, Hak Ja Han and the corrupt leaders changed the text of Father's words, and now they're not following True Father. They're following the Holy Mother Han, or the Only Begotten Daughter. And they say, well, Father and Mother one. They're not one. They're following a different teaching that Father left us. They're following Hak Ja Han, born without original sin, the Only Begotten Daughter, and they're following Reverend Sam Myung Moon, born with original sin, object partner. That's basically what it is. And it's a new religion. It's a false religion, quite frankly.
Yeah, if you think of the Family Federation, the way they've gradually faded father out. They had in the beginning they had father and mother one, but gradually, the Han mother became so prominent, and father gradually almost faded away. So probably he might be non-existent over a period of time with the Family Federation, and it will be always the mother god or the mother goddess, the Han mother.
Yeah.
So this is a very, it's a grave issue, grave problem for God's providence.
It's a very grave issue for sure, because as I said at the beginning, it's important to understand Father's mission as the second coming of Christ.
Yeah.
What he comes to do, what was his mission, and that was to establish God's lineage on the earth, and he accomplished that. And he declared Hyun Jin his heir and successor. He's the heir and successor of the lineage that he established. And so, after Father ascended, Hyun Jin should be the one being followed. He's the only one qualified to give blessings, and so on. Then the lineage should continue from there. Hak Ja Han usurped him, kicked him out, and then started giving blessings herself. It's totally off the page. It's totally false. Those blessings have no credibility at all.
It's satanic, you think of
Yeah.
it. Because the whole split, this thing, it took God's will, God's providence, another thing. I don't know how long, but it really, it prolonged the providence.
Yeah.
And this is probably a very it's a big problem where we got to feel very sad about this. This should have never happened because Father never imagined it. Even I don't think God even imagined that this thing can happen because this is where we are and this is what we are fighting for. We're fighting for the true heir and successor to be prominent, to lead the movement, and to unite all the factions together. But they can't unite because they have their own doctrines. They have to have a
Yeah,
very clear doctrine, father's doctrine.
well, thankfully, Hyun Jin stood his ground.
Yeah.
Even though he was kicked out, he would never give up that position that father gave him, his father's heir and successor, and that in itself proves he is a true heir and successor. He didn't care about losing money or all these things, and he stood up for father. Thankfully, we would never have known. Actually, we would never have known that Hak Ja Han changed father's words in that new Chonseong book.
Like they say, if one tries to preserve one's life, will lose. If one tries to lose his life, will gain it. The Bible says that.
Exactly. But Hyun Jin spoke out, and for that reason we know what went wrong. And he created the sanctuary church with a purpose to protect true father's words and traditions, which he's doing to this day. Now, people claim, as I mentioned earlier on, with the Preston Moon Group, but this is totally not in it at all. It's a false claim.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I saw this in what True Father said in Alaska on August the 3rd, 2011. This is words about Reverend Kwak and Hyun Jin Preston Moon. He said, I have nothing to do with Kwak family and Hyun Jin Preston family. True parents are no more related to Kwak family and Hyun Jin family. So the Kwak family will go to jail because they are against true parents and they are stealing money and property which belong to true parents. Alaska, August the 3rd, 2011. And for father to say that, it's a very strong denunciation. And in 2011. Now father declared Hyun Jin his heir and successor in 2010. So how will they get the idea that Preston Moon is the heir and successor is nonsensical.
I think we post a video as well of what took place with this. You can see it on the description as well.
Yes, to the video too. So, and then Reverend Kwak, or Chuck One Kwak, he wrote a book after all that. He calls it The Truth Shall Prevail. And it's an explanation what went wrong with the Family Federation. But he's the first cause what went wrong with the Family Federation. And now he's selling his book. He wants members to buy his book from him so he can make more money. I mean, that's really, at least it's comical. But that's what's gone wrong. There's been corruption in Preston Moon Group, including Reverend Kwak and others, and the Family Federation have been misled by Hak Ja Han and the corrupt leaders. And so people often think, well, we're all unificationists. They look at it very lightly. They think, we're all like part of one family. They think that Hyun Jin and Preston Moon come back to their mother. But it's not that simple. It's not going to happen that way. It's more serious than that.
No, it will never happen because I mean they have to have they have to focus on true Father, because true Father is the beginning of the heavenly providence, is the beginning of the lineage. So they have to come back to true Father and true Father's words and true Father's heir and successor. I mean, just imagine if Hyun Jin, followed his mother. I mean, we would have never known. We would have. I mean, I think the world would have been in total chaos, because they say that the micro affects the macro. So if anything happened, if he just followed the money and followed his mother, I mean, there would have been a total destruction in the whole movement. And we would have been following a totally different doctrine from what the founder exactly wanted to establish.
Yeah, and the prophets would have been over and out at that point.
Yeah.
So it's we're a very serious time. Okay, so the only way we can bring unity is on the central person, and the central person is only one.
The central person of the age.
And the central purpose of the age is only one person that true Father declared, now Hyun Jin. We can unite. We should unite, but it should be centered on him. There's anything else, it makes no sense.
Yeah, because I mean, we can't unite on the family federation, call a God a woke name as the heavenly parent, and change even how we pray. I mean, this is totally a new religion. It's not the religion that Father want to establish. Father want to establish. I don't think that they have even a Changyo constitution. Even I heard that they have a Changyo constitution. The constitution is more like a church constitution, not a national constitution. So we have in this kind of a situation that we have to unite and really unite on the central figure and truly follow Father's teachings and follow the teachings of the 8 great textbooks so that we can build that kingdom of heaven on earth.
Well, exactly. Well, Hyun Jin is the only person who's honouring the 8 great textbooks. Family Federation have changed them already. Actually, I made 3 of our own books, which contain Father's words, our own words mixed, tampered with words. And that's it. Only Hyun Jin is the only one respecting Father's direction and his words. Now, some people think, well, we don't need a central person. We have Father's words, we have the 8 great textbooks. We just study them.
And we follow our conscience.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable, doesn't it? But think about it. That's okay. We'll just do that. But then generation after generation read every week Father's words without central person. You start to deviate. And then you get further and more distant from true Father's will and what he really believed. The reason why Father left us a heir and successor, as he said, there'd always be a person representing Father on the earth. That means that Father wants to keep his connection with us on the earth from the spiritual world. Yeah. So that therefore he put his heir there, and so you can always connect with us through him. So if we do start to deviate from Father's teaching, the heir and successor, Father through the heir and successor can correct us, put us on the right path. That's the reason.
Yeah.
We need oneness. Real oneness can only happen centered on Father's heir.
Yes. Yeah, so let's see that how things progress in the future. So thank you for watching this week, and we bless you, and have a good week, and God bless you all.
Thank you. God bless.